It's time to like, share, and subscribe because Cowboys and Coffee is back. D, week 1 happened.
Mm-hmm.
Week 1 we lost, but there's optimism. There seems to be a touch of optimism here with Cowboys fans. Tell me how you feel after the week 1
I
loss.
never experienced a loss like we won. How do you experience a loss? We lost a game. It feels like we won. Because I think it's a big picture here, what you got going on here. It's just a big picture. Now, we got the Giants coming up. They have issues. We have to get the W. We have to blow them out. I said blow them out. Not win by 3, a field goal. Blow them out. But it's the only loss I ever felt that we won. I don't know what that means. I don't know what those feelings are, but that's how it seems.
Yeah, I'm actually just very happy that there's a lot of Cowboys fans who have moved on past the player who shall not be named, is no longer on this team, and it's given a lot of optimism for the coaching staff. For me, the coaching staff, how they called the game offensively, they put the coaching staff put the Cowboys in a position to win, which we haven't seen in quite some time.
Right.
The players perhaps didn't do. Dak was on his A game. He had passes to tight ends.
Yeah.
He had passes to receivers.
His
he was there.
No better. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's not on him. Now, the second half, the Cowboys shut down the last 20 minutes of the game. What did Saquon run for? 1 yard?
It was no.
On 8 carries?
Yeah.
And, they got shut down. The Cowboys' run game solidified the second half. Run defense solidified in the second half. They played a different scheme than what we're used to. They played 0 man-to-man coverage in the entire game. Not one passing play did they run cover 0, cover 1, man-to-man. Now, cover 2 has its man properties or other things, cover 3, cover 4, cover 6, whatever it is. But they did not ever man up on these guys, and they did what they were going to do. Now, someone came on here last week and said the Cowboys weren't going to score 7 points. They'd be lucky to score 7. I told you.
Yeah, who's that? Who's that? Yeah.
Foolish. Cowboys and coffee, baby. We're here.
Yeah, we're here.
But the reality is the offense could have scored over 30 points if CD catches the ball. Now, we saw this a couple years ago. CD had an issue with drops, went back to the drawing board, so to speak, and hasn't had it for a while. I think he had it week 1. They say the very next day he was back at the jugs machine working on catching the ball. I don't think it'll be an issue going forward.
And a day off, and he was in there early. Listen, he had a bad game, 7 catches, 110 yards with those drops. The numbers are there, but it was a bad game. Ferguson drops the ball in the end zone. As young man, son number 3 says, you squeeze the ball when you're in the end zone and get a touchdown.
And the reality is, Miles Sanders fumbles the ball.
Yeah.
And they don't get 8 points. They score a touchdown. Now Dallas is ahead the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And it's a different ball game how they're playing
it. You can't
beat
yourself in football.
Bright spots. Javonte Williams. Excellent running the football. He really showed us something I didn't think we thought we would get. We're happy to have him there for now. The Cowboys defense, Marshawn Nealon showed me a lot, who I was very happy to see. Maris Leofau shows me a lot. Yeah, Trey Diggs and Deron Bland were all over those receivers as well.
Yeah, let me. I hate to touch on this. I'm gonna. Eagles play calling was lousy, but anyways, and he's a new play caller, lousy, and they better open it up a little bit this next game. They better open it up, or they're gonna fight some pressure. Those fans are torment those guys. We have good coaches. They're teaching their players. Every position has a good coach to it. Just let me know when you want to start talking about number 3. But anyway,
I was just going to go into George Pickens.
We're
go ahead. Tell us about George Pickens in the game.
Just playing for himself. That's basically what he does.
And he's losing himself a lot of money.
He's playing for himself. Everybody's seeing it. Everybody knows what's going on. Now, the question is, were these coaching staff taking them aside, were a player taking them aside and tell them, listen, you haven't made any money yet. You're not going to make money by not playing hard and playing for the team and getting your numbers. You can't get your numbers by just the ball to you and we not win. We're not going to win. So let me how would I handle this player?
Yeah.
I guess you would have to say, listen, George, You're a number one receiver. You got Randy Moss type ability, but you don't have a Randy Moss mentality. You're not learning the game. You're not learning the team, and your reputation is hurting your ability to succeed.
He's not hit the horse, right? the ripping the guy's head off in the end zone, which pushes him back. That's 4 points right there. Not scoring a touchdown versus getting a field goal. Okay, that's number one. He's not blocking downfield, which is allowing other players to make the plays. He's not running his routes well, which allows Cooper DeJean to float over and to hit Ferguson and knock a ball out. Like, these are things that are clearly visible. They're clearly affecting the team.
And that was week one. Everybody saw it. The whole world saw it. All the Cowboy fans, everybody else saw it. And you know who else sees it? The opposing team sees that and goes, we might not have to worry about Georgie Porgy putting pie.
Here's the thing.
Didn't run and made everybody cry.
The market for George Pickens has already set itself for what his next contract will be. Christian Watson just re-signed with the Packers for an additional year, 1 year, $13 million. Jamison Williams just signed a 3-year extension with an average of $27 million with the Lions. So that's where you're going to make your money or not. George Pickens, if you're not playing well, someone will pick him up. Someone will get a little contract. That's $13 million. Now, you go out there and ball out the rest of the season, right? Like Sean said, Pickens will catch 2 touchdowns this week and all be good in Dallas again.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Then maybe it will be. But if he does that, then sure. Spence said, see Philly 2 years ago with terrible coordinators, play calling especially. But that's the bracket that Pickens is working in right now. Do you want to make $13 million? You want to double that and pass it on to yourself, right? Double that, pass it on to someone else. No, double that, pass it on to me because that's what I want. I'm going to make money. And it's on him. It's on him. Not all on him, obviously.
It's on
everything.
him.
But the Cowboys played well enough to win. They hung in the game that people thought. We had someone here last week say we're going to lose 41-7. No, they're in the game. They did great. They did fantastic.
Absolutely. Only loss I ever experienced, and it's like we won.
Yeah, I thought it was good football. A couple of mistakes, but a good football game between the teams. I don't think it was. It was week one, the early one.
Yeah.
Tyler Booker, Cooper Beebe, Tyler Smith all played well. We saw improvement from Tyler Guyton, right? That's a big one.
That's a big
Marcus
one, yeah.
Steele played well. I like the scheme of their running game. Listen, if that's Jaden Blue instead of Miles Sanders on that run, it's a touchdown. Now, Blue has to learn the playbook. From what they say, he and Mozzie Smith will both be inactive again this week because they're just not putting it out. Now, Mozzie, he hasn't played well enough to be active, even with Perrion Winfrey going into IR. But Jaden Blue apparently is not picking up the playbook, and I think specifically they mentioned the pass blocking.
Well, you know, when it comes to sports, the word whispers, okay? Here's one. I want to put the president here. There was a question about him involved with the mobs in New York City. And one of the guys, Michael Francis, said there was never a whisper. And guess what? There never was. And it's obviously, Sammy DeBull will tell you this. But there was a whisper coming out of Texas that Blue is a little lazy.
It's a good point.
And it sounds like something's missing in his game.
Yeah, I mean, he has got to step up his play in the playbook, if you understand what I'm saying. He's got to be in there. He's got to learn.
Well, the coach said, listen, Booker wasn't perfect, but he puts out every single time. Rest my case.
Yeah, and you have a lot of talent, the ability to break away and ability to change the game, and Blue, because he's also a great pass catcher.
Yes.
But if you put him in there and you know he's never going to pass block, it doesn't make a difference. Then you can't put him in. It tells the defense what you're going to do.
It cost Tony Romo when they got rid of our UConn buddy at the fullback because he was a good pass blocker.
Deion Anderson, my boy.
It cost him, right?
Yeah.
Whatchamacallit, the brother missed the block and Romo gets hurt.
Yeah. Pops, please check out my trade offer. Yeah. Sean said your trade offer. Send me a trade offer, you coward.
I ain't worried about no trade. I ain't trading with nobody because at the end of the year, trade that. That's at the end of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it was quite a week for the Cowboys. I think they acquitted themselves as they're not going to be a bad team. And they showed, even without the player who will not be named, that they're not going to be a pushover. They're not going to be destroyed. And they could actually they've set themselves up, I think, long term.
They had the pressures. It doesn't matter. It comes from a corner, corners are not.
Right.
Statistically, they were behind the Steelers and a couple other teams, pressure-wise and stuff. And look, Hurts is a running quarterback. He got out there a couple times, and he got away from that one play that they dumped to Barkley. He was on the skin of his teeth, or he would have been sacked.
Listen, it's a different defense, though, with the potential additions. I want to talk about the additions before we get to what's coming next week. The additions today is the talks of Jadeveon Clowney. He was there meeting with the front office. He even saw practice, which makes me lead to believe they're going to hammer this out. You have the third most cap, I think, in the NFL for this year, next year. We're waiting to see any confirmation that they've signed him. I do believe that they're going to bring him in, and then you're going to have an excellent DN rotation, which we've talked about. Marshawn Nealon, who is progressing, right? He's improving, excuse me. You have James Houston, who gets after the quarterback. Sam Williams gets after the quarterback, and Dante Fowler Jr., though they're not really run stoppers. Those guys get after the quarterback. You have Arazawaku. Now you throw in Clowney. That's a good DN rotation.
Here's what you have.
And Kenny Clark.
Here's what you have when you have a deep rotation. Later in the season, you're fresh.
Right.
It does make a difference being fresh. Okay. In the playoffs, it makes a difference. You're fresh and you can pull it off of getting after what you need to do in your assignment. They're coached up.
Yeah, it's the first time I feel like the coaches will actually be able to do something.
Listen, you go into the playoffs right now. You're like that last one. What happened with the defense? We're all looking at each other. What happened to the defense? Like it was nothing there. You're not going to have that here.
No, Spen says it's a more solid group. Time will tell if it's good. And you're right, Spen. But we know James Houston get after the quarterback. Fowler's shown he can. They're learning still the defense of Eberflus, and I felt like that's what the Cowboys were in the first half. They were still figuring out the defense. Second half was distinctly different, where they played like they were comfortable. They weren't thinking. You always say, can't think. You have to do it.
And this is Eberflus. He's a chess master. That's what he is. It's smart team defense. That's what it is. And he's a chess master of putting his players in the right positions, and they play off the game. It's a game of chess. And they're for real. Now, they better blow out the Giants. I don't want to win by 3 or win by a touchdown, win by 10. I want a blowout. They better go 3-1 the next 3 games.
Well, let's go. Packers are week 4.
I ain't worried about the Packers.
Hey, let's get them.
Packers are one-dimensional.
So here's my thing. This week coming against the Giants held in the game against the Commanders, but I think the Commanders, that was on them, more is on the Giants. The Giants can't score in the end zone. Russell Wilson cannot throw the ball far. Their offensive line is an absolute sieve. There's going to be a lot of changes that are necessary for the Giants, but the Cowboys got to go in and take care of business. Dak has won 13 games in a row. It ties the most recent streak of Tom Brady with 13 against, I believe, the Dolphins. I think the number one streak is Bob Greasy with 17 in a row. So Dak could have the second most all-time wins in a row against one squad. That's something considering saying how great Staubach was against the Giants.
17-1 lifetime.
Correct. And now we're talking about potentially being 14 in a row.
17-1.
And I don't think the Giants can't play Jackson Dart. Now, they already said they're not playing Jackson Dart this week. Russell Wilson's the starter, even though at first they weren't committal. The offensive line is so bad that you can't put your rookie quarterback out there and have the snot beat out of him. Andrew Thomas is still trying to work his way back from a Liz Frank injury, which can sometimes take a full year, and he was hurt deep in the fall last year. It wasn't like he got hurt in August.
Right.
That's a huge injury. And, Cam Scatiboo, whatever his name is, he plays with the running back for the Oilers all those years. Earl Campbell. He makes Earl Campbell look like he's playing a pillow fight. This guy's Cam Scatiboo, this is just as like a person who's suffered brain injuries before. Right. Please change how you're playing. Yeah. Or someone's going to have to take away your phone by the time you're 30 years old because the CTE is
he ain't gonna last.
It's dangerous how he's playing.
He's not going to last 4 years.
No. And here's the other thing with the Giants, and you know exactly where I'm going. Malik Neighbors.
Told you. Forget that, Jack.
He had the blow up on the sideline with the head coach, and then the head coach is trying to, dap him up, get going. What's your thought on Neighbors?
I've said it. I've been on the record. You're not going to win with him. He's Odell.
And both of the Cowboys' corners are going to be all over. Like, wherever side you go on, they're going to be on you, right? You're Bland on one side, Diggs on the other.
Yeah. Somebody may follow him this week. Somebody might follow. You know when he needs to follow guys, which was awesome, by the way. You know, whatever the defense is, he's going to get his look. He'll get his 6 or 7 catches, and for 80 yards, and he'd be happy if that's what they want.
Yeah, and
tight end numbers.
Now the Giants' defensive line is decent. It's got good. Dexter Lawrence is probably the best defensive tackle in the game right now. Abdul Carter and KT show flashes. Brian Burns is he's okay. He's not. Yeah. I don't think he's a bad player. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's an average player. He's good. Yeah, he's a good player. But that defense line is going to have to do a lot more. And I think this is right where this is perfect for the Cowboys because you got to run the football right at these guys, take their legs from them, and then pass the football, which we've been saying for so long. I believe today it was Gerald McCoy online said you don't need to throw the ball for 300 yards anymore to win. You run the football, throw for 180 and 2 touchdowns. And you've been saying that. It's like he's parroting what you said for how long?
Yep. But then it's time to turn. It's turning now. Back to a running game.
Cowboys this week, what's your expectation against the Giants? Well, you said you want to blow them out. Talk about the game plan, where we're going.
Well, listen, they know about the defensive front is for real. They're not going to underestimate those guys. The coaching staff knows that they can't beat themselves. It's still ball control and throw the football and catch the football. And then on defense, you just look for one thing. Play smart. And when it's 3rd and long, you take care of business. You got to make them into 3rd and long.
Yes, yeah, and then and those you could see 3 interceptions if you can force them to 3rd and long. Sean said he's not. Neighbors is not Odell. He's not produced nearly how Odell did, and Odell never lashed out at Coughlin. Now, here's where I would say I think the difference is between Odell and Neighbors. Odell, when he stepped on the field, was the best athlete on the field. He could take a 7-yard slant and take it to the house like I hadn't seen a long time.
But he did not kick that little kicking thing.
Sure, of course he did. I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm not saying he wasn't a prima donna.
Tommy Boy was.
But
there.
He wasn't going at Tom Coughlin the way that Neighbors was going at.
Because he was scared to death. Tom Coughlin.
Of course, right.
Coughlin would have knocked him in the mouth.
Right, but I think Odell considered himself the best weapon for the team, and not getting him the ball was foolish, right? And he was the best weapon. The real issue, I think, is Malik Neighbors cares about getting his yards and his catches. Whether they win or not, I don't know if it's even consequential to him. I think that's a lot of modern players now, right? Sean says that wasn't it. He wouldn't do that under Coughlin. Was he under oh gosh.
Sean,
there's so many bad coaches for the Giants.
Which one was the Packer coordinator? Was he there? They were in the first 5 years. Coughlin was gone, wasn't he?
Now I have to look and see.
There's like 4 coaches in a row.
Ben McAdoo. My gosh.
Yeah.
Pat Shermer. Joe Judge. My gosh.
Yeah, they were horrible.
They were horrible. And honestly,
they weren't even good coordinators. They weren't even good coordinators.
At least Dable gave you a playoff appearance.
Yeah.
Those guys gave you nothing.
Yeah.
And Dave Gettleman, got to be one of the worst recent GMs in football history. Jerry's a horrible GM. Guys,
Stefan Tannenbaum.
Dave Gettleman was a
Tannenbaum too. He was another one.
Dave Gettleman's we set up a women's fantasy football league to teach women how to play fantasy football, and they figured out pretty quick, right, how to do it. That we made some videos, show them how to do it. Dave Gettleman, he should go back and watch the videos because he had no idea how to put a team together in New York. It was the coaches he picked were bad, the players he picked were bad,
and the players did not like him from Carolina. And they got on record as a rarity to do that. It's a rarity that they would speak out about a general manager.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a rarity. Yeah.
Let me see this. Let me see. I wanted to see Giants record since the boat trip, the infamous boat trip.
Yeah. The
Giants record is 41, 94-1.
Yeah, something.
Unbelievable how bad they've been as an organization.
I remember when it came out and went, oops, oh boy. It wasn't the worst thing to do, but it was just something about it.
Yeah, I think
it wasn't.
It's not that other players don't do that.
Yeah.
It's just that when we see it.
Yeah,
and we know
when you see it. Yeah.
And then you come out and if they won the game or they lost on the last second field goal, fine. They laid a dud.
Like the Red Sox playing the games, the card
Right,
games.
they're playing cards, they're drinking beer, they're eating chicken.
He said we did this during the playoff run.
We did that when we won a World Series.
Yeah.
Now it's a problem,
Now
right?
it's a problem, yeah.
We're doing Papelbon and
Yeah,
Beckett and those guys.
Yeah.
They were. Coughlin did draft Odell Beckham, but he was doing those things not under Beckham, though. Coughlin is other guys, which we understand. I think Dallas has to show us that they are a building team, a team that learns, a team that can get better. They have to show us that they can beat these teams who shouldn't be in their division. The Giants, I think a lot of Giants fans had optimism this year going in, but that offensive line it might be the worst in the NFL, and I don't think that's a stretch because the Commanders' defensive line were in the backfield so often last week on runs or passes.
Yeah, I was shocked that they took him. Well, they had their best left tackle and a couple of players, which was shocked. I didn't know he was out. I got him for fantasy football for Tracy and Neighbors. It doesn't look like I'm winning anything.
No, not with Russ, because Russ doesn't have the touch and a bomb anymore. The amount of times we're listening to on the radio for a little bit, the amount of times they said, "Oh, Russ lobs it up there." Lobs? He just lobs it up there. Listen. On the Giants, I'd rather play Jameis Winston because he might throw 3 picks, but he might throw 4 touchdowns. Like Jameis and Malik Neighbors, that might be something electric. They might lose 37-35, but at least it'll be 35.
Yeah.
At least it gives the defense a chance to like they can put up points and like the defense can play a little differently. Defense is being ground down, and the Commanders aren't a good running team. If Dallas can continue to run the football and be a good running team, it's going to be a long day for New York this week. It's going to be very, very difficult, and it's in Dallas. Season opener for the Cowboys, a home opener for the Cowboys.
Oh, and like I said, that though they have a game plan, the Cowboys. They know what they have to do to execute it on the offensive line, and they have to get better. And that's what these guys are coached better. Now, it's an NFC rival game, and Giants who have nothing to lose because they have to win or their season's over with. The Giants.
Let's look at the Giants' schedule together. Giants schedule. It's giving me the baseball Giants. I don't want the baseball Giants. Let me tell you something, beloved. It's not easy. I had to get on a call. I was saying Odell wasn't bugging out on Coughlin. It wasn't even like getting the ball because they were losing the game to his rival, Josh Norman. Yeah, we know that. Okay, if the Giants lose 2, now you can say it's a big game for both teams because Dallas goes 0-2. It's going to be a long season too.
Yeah.
Giants. If they lose to the Cowboys, next week on Sunday Night Football, they play the Chiefs, who might also be 0-2 and looking to get out of it because they got a rough schedule.
That's going to be a horrible game. 0-2 teams.
And then they face the Giants, so they could be 0-3 against the Chiefs after the Chiefs. Then they play the Chargers, who look tough. That could be 0-4. Okay, let's say you beat the Saints week 5 because they stink. We know they stink. The Saints are the worst team in football by far. They're probably worse than like Aspetuck, Pop Warner team years ago, which was
that's about
horrific.
Yeah.
The Eagles, week 6. The Broncos, week 7. The Eagles, week 8. That's you could be looking at 1-7.
Those are 0-3 right there. That's 0-3 right there.
That could be 1-7.
Yeah, that's 0-3 right there on there.
Then look, week 9, the 49ers, who are all I'll give them a win for the sake of the argument. Say 2-7 at the Bears.
You'll beat the Bears.
Okay, 3-7. Great. Now look, Packers.
Forget it.
3-8. Lions at the Lions.
At the Lions will be better. They're going to be better by then.
3-9.
Yeah.
At the Patriots.
Boring game.
Okay, let's give them 4-9 just for the sake. Commanders again, 4-10. Vikings, 4-11. At the Raiders. Okay, I'll give you that 5-11, and then you finish with the Cowboys to go 5-12. So unbelievable what they're looking at. Tennessee might be worse than New Orleans. Sean said, I watched Tennessee and they don't have a lot of talent. But what they have is
he missed wide open receivers too.
Sure. But I think that's because the offensive line is not great.
He missed wide open receivers.
But New Orleans has nothing. Okay, so maybe I'll say this. Tennessee might have less talent, but they have a brighter future because New Orleans has nothing that they can do going forward. They're still locked in with these bumps. They should be trading these guys to move on to draft picks to make it cheaper, yada yada. But they're almost stuck with them because of their cap hits that they'll take to be playing players.
Jerry call them more up and say, listen, we'll give you a few players. Give us the second pick, a third round pick. That'd be nice.
How about we don't have a third round pick because of Pickens?
No, I'm going to say we get that back. Give them a couple players.
Well, who are we giving them?
Practice squad.
Right. New Orleans was solid on Sunday. He said Nola has Casey Affleck as head coach. New Orleans.
What's that?
Spencer said New Orleans has Casey Affleck as a head coach. Yeah. And Sean said I agree, but I'm talking about right now. New Orleans was solid Sunday. Yeah. The problem is they're going to be a 3-win team for the next 3 years. Who did they play? New Orleans played. Was it Arizona? They kept it close, but I'm not blown away by any Arizona team either. So, we'll see. I would rather be the Titans long term. Miami's gonna have to tear it down. There's a lot of teams who are
really bad.
Really bad.
They're really bad. The coach is bad out there. Yeah,
there's just so many.
Is bad. Quarterbacking is bad. Yeah.
So, we will see what happens. I know that Miami they're another team. The problem is Miami's not going to sell. They're not going to trade their players because the GM, the head coach's job is on the line, even though it's best for the organization, even though their head coach stinks.
Who can we get out of there? Who can we get out of here?
Look, Tyreek, they should be mortgaging. They should be just Tyreek Hill.
Well, don't you think he's a good coordinator, though? I think the guy is good.
So that's a guy who I'd probably have as a coordinator, but not a head coach.
Yeah.
Right? There's only so much I can do. If I'm down by 18 points, I don't want my coach to come in and deadpan and give me a MCU joke at halftime. I'm gonna swing on him. It's gonna be him. That's
what seems like what's going on there.
Right. So I can't. Miami's gonna be a mess because of the Patriots. I know they had a tough week 1. If they kind of figure it out, the Bills are still there. The Jets looked respectable in week 1. The Dolphins are by far the worst team in the division. Their defense stinks. You're only one. Every quarterback's one play away, but you have an injury-prone quarterback with head injuries, which doesn't lead me to feel good about their situation. But my point is the Giants are in that lower bracket of teams. The Giants are down there, and even though I think they have a brighter future.
Quarterbacking, I'm shocked that they didn't look better.
Joe Shane has okay, great. He got these guys. He got Kayvon Thibodeau. He got Abdul Carter. But they just fell into your lap. He didn't trade up for them. You didn't pick guys in the second round that are doing that. You want to know why? Because we've seen the offensive line, and we've seen the picks that he's got. Evan Neal stinks, and he was hurt this week again. But when he has been out there, even the preseason, he was. I mean, to say he was slow and useless is probably disrespectful to people who are slow and useless. There's nothing he can do. He may have been even worse than the guys who are already out there. The center they got, Schmitz. Awful. How about this? They drafted this year Darius Alexander, the D tackle out of West Virginia. People thought Shane stinks, but he just traded up in the draft to get the next Josh Allen. Sure, but he might not be around to see him, and here's why. If the season is, and we talked about, we think they have at least another year because of the quarterback, and I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But if they are a 4-win team, I think Mara moves on because it'd be so embarrassing. Talk Radio in New York does a lot for the organizations, right? They pay attention.
Yeah, they do.
And if WFAN 660, if that goes radioactive, nuclear, because they're a 4-win team, and the fans
like that,
they
react to it.
They barely kept them on this year.
Right.
Shane and Dable may not be there to watch this quarterback flourish because they haven't picked offensive linemen who can do the job. Like I was saying before, Darius Alexander, 3rd-round pick. Everyone's like, oh, they got a steal. He fell to them, yada, yada. He was inactive for the game. So not because he was hurt. He wasn't even active to play.
You see the video came with the general manager there talking about Barkley, and the head coach is there. If you and I are there, sitting there, and they're saying, well, I don't think that he's going to get the money, we would have went like this. Listen, we can't let him go. Give him his money. He's 26. He's our best player. That's all you had to say. No. Somebody will give him the money. Is that what's too hard to say, to believe?
And here's the thing. His son knew better, right? The GM's own son was this doesn't make sense. Why would you let him go?
The son said it.
What a kid.
The son said it.
If Dart isn't starting by week 6 and the Giants have 1 win, this regime won't finish the season. And here's the danger. Here's why timing of where your organization is at matters. Let's say the Giants are 1-7, and might as well put Jackson Dart in to get snaps. The problem with that is he's behind perhaps the worst offensive line in football. And now you look at the development of quarterbacks who haven't been able to stand up and play. The David Carrs, the Tim Couches, those guys had supreme arm talent as well. Tim Couch had a cannon for an arm. And I know he was a new organization again. But like your rookie quarterbacks, once they start to put their head down and not look down the field, but they're looking down at the guys in front of them, it's over.
Aikman got beat to death. And Aikman at UCLA, everybody knew he was a great college quarterback, won the Rose Bowl and all that, right? Did all that stuff, right? He got beat to death and his numbers were not there. But everybody knew he had talent.
Correct. Peyton Manning and Troy Aikman,
yeah,
they have horrible rookie year numbers.
Yeah.
But we're talking about 2 Hall of Fame level quarterbacks. Yeah. We're talking about guys who
need a front.
Yeah.
A front.
You need to have that. So there's the dichotomy. Do you keep Jackson Dart out the whole year and let him play the following year? Patrick Mahomes did it. Patrick Mahomes also walked into a playoff team and was an upgrade over Alex Smith.
Yeah, that's right.
But you know what? When do you have Dart play? Because if they're as bad as we think they are and will be, there's going to be big problems playing Dart. The stuff that hangs in the balance is drastic for the Giants organizations for the next 5, 6, 7 years. Because if you play Dart too soon, and the offense line's so bad that he can't impress or improve even with the snaps, you set your organization back because you're playing next year. You just went through a similar situation with Daniel Jones, where he got you to playoffs, but you've seen what a bad quarterback or a quarterback who won't improve, what he'll do to your team.
Yeah.
And now look what he's doing with the Colts.
Yeah, he had one good game.
Week 1, that's all you ask. But you know what?
Right.
Look at recent Sam Darnold, got himself a nice big contract, right? Because he had a good year. Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith. We've seen these guys, even like to an extent, Jared Goff. Now, he got them to the Super Bowl, but they realized they could only go so far with him.
Yeah.
Well, he went to the Giants, and he had an excellent year last year. We'll see what he's like without Ben Johnson. Doesn't look so great so far. But we have to look at that. It's possible for these guys to improve, like Daniel Jones with another organization. Look at Anthony Richardson. The timing is off because these teams now can't make decisions that are healthy for the organization long term. They have to do what's right to survive. So do they throw Jackson Dart in week 5 if they're 0-4? That's, hey, let's throw them in against the Saints. It should be an easy game.
Eli got to play. They made the change there. Eli got to play.
Off to the Lions, not the Giants,
Yeah. And Eli played well. His numbers, he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. And it worked out for him that time.
It is worth talking about.
But they had a better surrounding team.
Their surrounding cast had a solid line.
Yeah.
Solid lineman already.
Yeah.
And Shane has missed on his offensive line.
Okay.
Base.
When was the last time New York Giant team had an all-pro lineman, offensive lineman?
Let's see.
All-pro lineman. Do you know how many years we're talking about? I don't even know if they all-pro lineman. I don't even know if they had one.
Offensive lineman.
All-pro. You can't even name it. There's no. You can't even name it. That's bizarre.
Okay, so right off the bat is Rosie Brown, who last time was all-pro in 1962.
Thank you. Is that not bizarre?
Len Grant in 1931, 1932.
Didn't I tell you? What did I tell you that?
Frank Cope, who was conspicuously not in World War. Andrew Thomas, right? He's there now.
But he didn't make All-Pro, did he?
I don't know if he made All-Pro.
Was he a second team All Pro? No. Pro Bowl. I don't think he was All Pro. He might have been second team. Because Williams was first.
He was second team All Pro in 2022.
That's all right. That's right. That's All Pro. That was a good one. Yep.
Okay, besides,
yeah, he was second team All Pro. I don't remember. That was third one. That's about it.
That is it.
That's it.
Butch Gibson in 1931.
Yeah, I don't remember my
Cal
day.
Hubbard in
I don't remember
27.
anybody minus 70s. John
Bill
Hicks was a
Morgan
bust.
35. Steve
Yeah.
Owen in 27.
They've only had one All Pro in how many years? That's a bizarre number.
He's always he could be. He is one of the best when he's healthy. But the issue is when he's healthy. And
He's been
again,
hurt so many times. Now.
Liz Frank injuries they could be career enders. They say, "Oh, well, he'll get over it." The Liz Frank injury is so unique that surgery oftentimes doesn't help it, especially at a professional level, that he can't play through the pain because it's just not possible to play at that level.
It's a bad injury. It's a very bad injury. It is.
It's almost
it's a bad injury.
It can be a career ender. I'll say that. So, yeah, it's
so they've had one All Pro in how many years? In the 60s.
100 years.
It's 60s. It is bizarre.
Right, since the 60s. Yeah, 60 years.
You would never think that.
Right.
You would never think that. Yeah, nobody would think about that.
So, yeah, Andrew Thomas. But again, when he's healthy, he hasn't been healthy. Let's see his games played.
He's been hurt the last 2 years. Well, 22 was right. Is 2 years. Last year and the year before. 24 and 23
So
was hurt.
let's see Andrew Thomas.
23 and 24 he was hurt.
This year, he hasn't played yet, obviously. Last year, he played 6 games. The year before that, he played 10 games.
Thank you. Yep. Wow, and out of 17. That's 17 games. So he's played 16 games in the last 37 games.
In 5 years, now going on 6 years, he's played 61 games.
What? How many years now? It's been
5. It's been 5.
This is
5 full years.
There you go.
He's played in. He's averaging 10 games a year.
Not your left tackle, baby. Not your left tackle.
So, yeah, there's a lot to weigh for the Giants. The Cowboys, I think, now have 2 first-round picks in each of the next 2 drafts. So you don't have a third this year because you traded for Pickens, but you have 2 first and a second. I could see them dropping out of the first and going back for an extra second and third. I could see them staying and taking picks. It's very early in the draft process. I've already told you, Caleb Downs, the safety from Ohio State, and
I'll go wide receiver. Yeah, who are they going to pick? Wide receiver.
Yeah, and Thomas. Oh my goodness, the running back from Notre Dame.
They're gonna get the Smith from Ohio State.
Not this year, baby.
Yeah, is he coming out?
He's only a sophomore, sophomore.
Man!
But guess what? In the draft next year, when he's coming out, they got 2 first-round picks again. That's the thing.
He's gonna be number 1.
Them boys, those 2 guys.
Who's the one that said he's the nicest guy with the most talent they ever met?
My favorite thing.
Nicest guy with the most talent ever met.
Right. Those boys from Alabama and Ohio State. Jeremiah Smith is nasty.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is they were like the difference between LSU has great receivers in the NFL. Yeah. Ohio State has great receivers in the NFL. They're like Ohio State wide receivers will try and get you baptized and be a good friend. LSU wide receivers will swing on you if they don't get hit the ball.
Yeah.
The LSU receivers, Brian Thomas Jr., Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Those guys are nasty.
Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah.
Malik Neighbors, those guys are nasty.
They're physical specimens.
Look at Ohio State, Jackson Smith and Jigga, Marvin Harrison.
Jefferson's not, but he's smart. His body's
fragile. He doesn't look. He's not a big physical receiver.
You see him in a commercial.
Yeah. Spence says he's not going to be there unless we have a terrible year. Jordan Love tears his ACL. The Cowboys have 2 first-round picks in the next 2 drafts. So let's hold off and say here. Let's say the Cowboys and the Packers are both picking in the 20s the next 2 years. Let's go 2 years down the road when both the wide receivers are there. Now you've had a year before where you had 2 first-round picks. You stack it on. They're one of the youngest teams in the NFL. They're the youngest offensive line in the NFL. That's when you say, you know what? There's this wide receiver prospect. We had 2 first-round picks last year in a second rounder. We've already stacked. This is the year. Let's trade 2 firsts and a second. Let's move all the way up and get the guy who will put us over the top of wide receiver. Put him next to CD, still in his prime, and say, let's go for it. Now the end
They
of
did it
next
with
year.
Dorsett.
Right, that's the thing. And
They
now
did it
you're
with Dorsett.
now you're there.
They get player.
2 firsts is big, and
Yeah, did it Galloway didn't
excellent-
work out, but Dorsett worked out.
getting 2 firsts is
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Now you have it. And if you're trading 2 firsts after you've accumulated other draft capital, all we have to do is pray in the downfall of the
They got
Packers.
Dorsett second. Yeah, Ricky Bell went first.
Right. So, yeah, there's a lot coming in the in the future for the Cowboys. And I think in the immediate future, I'm predicting the Cowboys to win, kind of going away. I don't think there's a reason why they couldn't. If they play the Eagles very well, who have a great offensive line, the best offensive line in football,
Yep.
and quarterback doesn't give the ball away. If Arch becomes who we think he is, both him and Smith come out next year. Is it tempting to take Arch, start over at QB? I don't think so. Cap structure, Dak's cap money is not something you want to move on from now. And I don't think you have to. If it's Smith, Jeremiah Smith, or Arch, I think, and if I know Jerry, and people say, oh, Jerry's the wild card, he's the gun. If I know Jerry, he's going to get the wide receiver to put next to his quarterback, because that's what Jerry does. He gets the wide receiver. If you want to talk about stuff that Jerry actually does, he goes out to get the wide receiver, right? He did with Joey Galloway, tried with Roy Williams. He this is what he does.
Well, I've heard a little birdie come along and said they're looking to get Archie.
Really?
If they can set it up to get him, they're going to get him.
Okay, you heard it here first. If the Cowboys can, we have our sources. Let's say if the Cowboys can get Arch, they will.
Well,
I wouldn't.
Who's the grandfather want him to play for?
Exactly.
Who did the grandfather say?
Archie wants him to play for Dallas.
Well, was he sober? No, he was drunk.
Well, sometimes a sober.
That joke was like,
a drunk mind says a sober heart.
I want that boy to play for the Cowboys.
Yeah. So we'll have to.
It's hard to hate those guys as Manning boys, but then he's not good as his
uncles.
uncles. He's not good as his uncles. No.
We haven't. He's
no.
He's just
No.
fourth career start. Jerry
Nah.
passes on Peyton before he went to Denver. I don't think he passes on another Manning again. Sean says that's my story. Sorry, we have inside sources that say that, Sean. So we'll tell you.
Who does the basketball? Does Sean do the basketball?
Sean does some basketball. Matt Price.
Okay, so we want the
John
autograph.
L.
We want the autograph.
Oh, I know what I know. Sean said we're looking to get up to a Connecticut Sun game.
Yeah,
Get the autograph or 2
Yeah.
if we can for someone we know.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I have a question for people out there. If you watch this live or you watch this later, I have a Micah Parsons jersey, one of the white ones with the blue sleeves. I think it's the Thanksgiving ones. It's super great. What do I do with it?
I'll tell you what you do. You slice it up and turn it into rags.
Thought about that. Thought about burning it.
I don't want to burn it. No, that's an environmental thing. But you can reuse it as rags.
I thought about using it as a reusable diapers for the baby.
Oh, that's good. You can do that. Yeah.
Diaper for him.
Yeah.
I don't want to wipe my butt with it, but I thought about that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not that bad.
Yeah, I thought about reusable diapers for the
I
baby.
figure you get oil on it. Change the oil. Use it to change the oil.
That's a good idea.
Checking your oil.
That's good. Or clean up vomit off the floor.
I can do that for first graders.
You can get it to your school to use.
Yep. I can do the vomit.
Right?
Yep.
I'll use it downstairs for kids in emergency who soil themselves. That's good.
Oh, cat litter. I'll cut it up and make cat litter out of it.
It's a good idea.
For Wellington.
Let the dogs learn how to where to go to the bathroom. Here, go to the bathroom there. Throw it and aim there.
Oh,
Teach the boys how to use the bathroom.
Yep.
Here, boys, throw that up. Shoot there.
We'll be on it.
Anyway, all right. We've had enough talk about the Cowboys today. We're ready for a game this week. Give me your prediction for the score this week. I'm sorry if you have one.
It's got to be 26-10. I'll get 26-10.
Yeah, I'm going to go 31-13 Cowboys. 31-13. Neighbors will get a score because they're going to try and force the ball. Defense will adjust. They'll get 2 field goals, whatever. 31-13 Cowboys. A throw rug. Wipe your feet before you come in the house, Spencer said. And that's what we are predicting. Cowboys win this week to return to 1-1. And then we'll be back next week after the Cowboys win, hopefully. So, listen, D, love you. Like, share, subscribe. Follow us here on YouTube. We're looking to continue to grow. And we're Also open now. We've been sipping our coffees the whole
Yes,
time.
we
My
have.
coffee is done.
Yeah.
Long gone. We are looking to partner with someone for a sponsor for our Cowboys and Coffee podcast. If you're a roastery, if you have something to, if you have coffee beans to share, I will grind it. I'll brew it fresh. We will drink that instead of the corporation that we have on here. If the corporation we have on here wants to sponsor us too, they're more than welcome to. So 38-13, and D gets negative points from the Giants defense. He's not starting the Giants defense, stupid idiot.
Yeah, I'm not starting it. That's
okay. Anyway, so Cowboys win. We're looking for coffee sponsors. If you want to partner with us, we will shout you out. That is your coffee that we're drinking. We will go and grow from there. All right. Let's go Cowboys. Let's get a win. We'll see you guys later. And peace.